All right, everybody, what is going on? Good afternoon. We got more draft stuff to get into here, and we are moving on to a new position today. We're going to spend a little bit of time on defensive tackle. And to me, this is kind of the last position, the last spot that we haven't talked about yet, where I think the team could actually make a non-trivial investment. And it's a reach, I will grant you. I don't think it's very likely. I think that the odds are very much against it. But this is a position where if the team did spend even like one of their higher value picks on a player, I wouldn't be completely floored. And I might even kind of get it. This is one of those positions where you can kind of keep stacking players and building depth and giving yourself flexibility, and you're probably not going to regret it, right? Defensive tackle, it's good to be very deep here, and it's also good to try to give yourself an out from spending a ton of money on any one player because you just feel like you have to. Leonard Williams, this upcoming year could be his final NFL year, especially if we don't extend him. That to me is a sign that either he's done after this season, or maybe he'll be somewhere else after this upcoming season. And look, Riley Mills made a great play in the Super Bowl, but we know so little about Riley Mills. It's hard to say. Jaron Reed's probably at the end of the line. It's not completely unfathomable. Like if we spent a high pick on a tight end, I wouldn't be able to square that in my mind. There's no way that would make any sense to me, at least in terms of utility. I can make a little bit of sense of this. So let's talk about some of the top guys. It's a pretty weak crop. I'm going to say that right now. Now, that doesn't mean there isn't some intersection between where the Seahawks might be intrigued and where the player might be intriguable, but it's not a great class. Our top guy, we're going to start with Peter Woods of Clemson. He is a first round pick on most of the major big boards, but not by much. The aggregate had him at 25 last time I did a check. And yeah, that's barely in the first. So, what is Peter Woods? He's a little undersized, sub 300 pounds, very short arms, like painfully short arms. And the production in college was okay, right? 58 tackles total over the last 2 years, a decent amount for loss, but only 5 sacks, only 34 pressures. PFF grade took a step back in 2025. So, there's definitely some part of this that is kind of like, okay, what are we getting excited about here? And that's why even in a weaker class, he's probably going to be not even a top 20 pick. So, not great. Now, Peter Woods, positives. He sheds blockers quickly. He knows how to get off a block and get to the ball. He does have the mobility and athleticism to shoot gaps and try to get to the outside and test blockers laterally. So there is some fun stuff he can do movement-wise. He's a powerful player when sifting through contact. He's someone that's hard to not get knocked back by. He's effective doing twists and stunts in space. He's a good twister and stunter. He has a cerebral feel for playing the position. He knows where to be, knows how to get there. There's a lot of stuff that he does in that area that is great. And he should be somewhat versatile. He can play different spots, occupy different roles. He can do the gapping stuff. He can do single gap. He can do two gap. I think there's going to be a lot that he brings to the table in the NFL. His frame and length, his body in general is just kind of disappointing, though. He's not that big. He doesn't have a frame to add a lot of weight, and he's got super short arms. He did not play as well in 2025 as he did in 2024. So you don't like that. He's taking a step back. He can take plays off sometimes. It doesn't feel like his motor runs as hot as you might like. He can get pushed back by leg drive, by strong blockers. He can get pushed out of the hole pretty easily. And he really doesn't bring you that much as a pass rusher, which, given the fact that he's not exactly the stoutest guy in the world either, there is a part of me that is like, okay, I understand this guy is good at a lot of stuff, but it doesn't seem like he's great at anything. That's not fun. So it's kind of dry to me. I don't see a star here, but he's a good athlete. I think he'll be disruptive, and I think he'll generally be a good player. I just don't think he's going to stand out in something particularly over the top. I don't see a great player here. I see an okay player. I see a good player. So in this draft, yeah, he's a first rounder, but barely, like just barely, man. I don't know. Couldn't really get into this one. If he's there at 32, I think that's good value, but at the same time, there's a part of me that's like, yeah. Caleb Banks of Florida is our next guy here. He's the other guy who has a chance to be a first round pick. He's a massive dude, giant dude, 6 foot 6 1/4, 327 pounds, 35-inch arms, almost 11-inch hands. The guy's a behemoth, and that's kind of the name of the game here. He is so big and relatively athletic for a big guy, by the way. He ran a 5.0440. 176 split is really good for his size. The vert and broad were monstrous given how big he is. That alone is just like demanding you take it seriously. And you can see a lot of the big boards, they got him in the late first, early second. The aggregate puts him in the late second right now, so he's not a first round pick according to them, but he's very close. And that's with him basically missing all of 2025. He barely played in 2025. So if you're taking him, you're hoping that the breakout signs he showed in 2024 when he had 4.5 sacks and 29 pressures, you're hoping that's what you get, and he keeps developing from there. So he's got a dream build, right? Like, there's no doubt about it. He's got the perfect build for an interior defensive lineman. He's huge, long, very imposing. He's a phenomenal athlete given how big he is, like I said. He has a lot of power in his punches. He delivers big blows to blockers to knock them back off the ball. The first step quickness is legit. He launches off the ball pretty quickly here. And the athleticism combined with the size is just going to be hard to deal with. He does actually have some genuine pass rush moves. He can hit the swim. He's got some arm over stuff going on here. He's not just a straight line guy. And there is some flexibility here. Like, he could line up in a couple different places. He could do a couple different things at the pro level, I think. So he's not just a pure nose or a pure three. There's going to be some flexibility here. Now, he really didn't do much in 2025. The injury really sapped what should have been his breakout season. So there's a lot we don't know. He's a sloppy player. He wastes his talent with bad technique and form. And there's a lot he needs to learn. And he should have been learning it in 2025, but he wasn't playing. He plays way too high. Leverage cooks him all the time. Got to learn how to get low. He's going to need to be limited in snap count. He has low endurance, and at his size, he cannot string together a lot of plays in rapid succession effectively. And as weird as this sounds, it's almost like he'd be better as a 5 tech on the edge because of the way he plays. He's not really all the way squared out in terms of like what a big interior lineman should be. So, ton of upside. There's a lot of reasons why this guy could be really special, and there's a lot of reasons why he might bust right out of the league, but there's upside here. That upside in this draft, the size, the athleticism, it's hard to ignore. So I think he's a back end first rounder. I might like him more than Woods. At least this would get me potentially excited. At least I look at him and I could see a world where he's a future superstar. So I don't know. I like Caleb Banks well enough. Got to know what you're getting into. Don't get me wrong, but I'm into it. And then we get to a pretty big drop off here. There is not a single player on the aggregate big board that is, in my opinion anyway, a true defensive tackle. There are nose tackles. There's no defensive tackle ranked until you get to the middle of the third round from there. So you get through 30 picks basically with no true defensive tackle, 3 tech type. You get all the way to Gracen Halton of Oklahoma. That's your next guy. So it's not thick at the top here. Halton, another undersized defensive tackle, sub 295, sub 6'3", very short arms. So right away you're like, okay, I know what this is. Great athlete, fast, quick, very explosive, remarkable explosive testing scores. The 20-yard shuttle, not so great maybe, but overall, great athlete, tested well. Big boards, got a little bit of second, some third. CBS has him in the fifth. They don't like him very much. The aggregate puts him in the middle third, though. That seems to be about where we're landing here. The stats are decent, right? Like 8.5 sacks over the last 2 years, 59 pressures, 63 tackles. That's better than some of these guys, right? He's actually producing. He's putting up pretty good numbers. There's some stuff here to get into. He's a great gap shooter. He's undersized, and he knows how to compensate for that by shooting gaps and penetrating into the backfield. And even though he has short arms, it's actually really hard to block him cleanly. He's slippery. It reminds me of collegiate Cansey a little bit. It's just hard to get a clean block on the dude. And that is a tremendous asset, and it can make up for his shortcomings. He can cover a lot of space. He's very rangy because he has that elite athletic profile and he's undersized. He's always giving maximum effort. He runs hot, powerful punches, even though he's undersized. He hits with force. Now, he is undersized, especially the arm length, and the arm length is so bad it might be disqualifying. Like this is hard to live with. Yeah. He plays standing straight up, even though he's small. Got to learn how to sink the hips and bend the knees. His skills in hand fighting are limited, so if he gets into a hand fight, it's not great right now. His shed game is weak when he's squared up on. He gets stuck on blockers if somebody can square up. And he does get pushed around sometimes because he is a little bit on the physically weak side. So again, you know what you're getting here. This is a undersized 3-tech. So classic example of that kind of player. The lack of length could be a big problem, but the gap shooting, I think that stuff is going to translate really well. I think the athleticism is going to help. I actually kind of dig him if this is what you like. I go early third on him. I liked him more than I thought I would. And that is going to do it for this video. We're going to move on to the day 3 tech defensive tackle types later today. And then we're going to try to finish that up tomorrow. Let me know what you guys think. I will see you guys soon. Go Hawks. Everyone have a great rest of your day.